Well, the Killing Eve finale. This is just going to be a video where I just go on about the finale because that was something. Spoiler alert with this video, just to let you all know, because of course it's the finale, and second of all, some people in the UK might not have watched it yet. I have, because I've used streaming sites to watch it. However, it's going to be coming out tomorrow on BBC iPlayer, so on Monday, which is tomorrow, coming out on BBC iPlayer for people in the UK. Episode 7 and episode 8 will be released then. Right, let's talk about the finale. First of all, we don't find out who is at the top when it comes to the 12. We don't find that out, which implies that there isn't actually anyone at the top of the 12, which, okay, that's fine. But then you see scenes where, let's say, spoiler alert, Villanelle gets shot, right? And what is interesting is that it's not shown who actually kills Villanelle. It's not shown. It could have been anyone. It could have been God knows who, actually. Now I think about it, the amount of new characters that were introduced in Season 4, it could have been anyone. Yes, they've left it open for interpretation, but it's not even the thing of that. It's the thing of literally nothing. Like, there's no way of knowing who it was, especially with Season 4. There's just so many new characters and new plot lines that you just can't. What else is there? Villanelle. This was the Villanelle episode of the Villanelle episodes, if there ever was one. Well, the Villanelle shippers got what they wanted. I did. I got what I wanted, clearly. There's the Villanelle kiss. There's the double Villanelle kiss. Let's put it that way. The one where they are outside the camper van. There's also the one where just before Villanelle and E go their own ways to take down the 12 on the boat. That's another one. I'm all for it. I just find it interesting how there'll be a Villanelle kiss, but they won't both verbally acknowledge how they feel for one another. It makes no sense at all, but you know, I guess that's kind of what happens when you rush the last episode. But now Carolyn, she finds out Constantine is dead, and yet as much as she showed emotion, she showed a little emotion, which is interesting to say the least. Nothing else happened from that. I mean, she was told that Constantine was killed in the last episode, in episode 7, but that was it. That was literally it, which is just interesting because I sit there and think to myself, is that it then? Is that really it for that storyline in particular? There was a lot of Villanelle this episode, which I'm very much happy with. There was the scene where Eve and Villanelle are in that camper van, I think it was, and there was the scene where they had revels, right? So chocolate, and Villanelle is being fed chocolate by Eve. Please don't tell me that gives off a married couple vibe. I don't care what anyone says. That is Villanelle right there. I don't care. That is Villanelle right there. Literally, that is Villanelle. Don't care. No one can tell me different. There's the bit of how they went to those people and they stayed there overnight in a sleeping bag. I love that scene. First of all, I love that scene. Second of all, it was nice because even Villanelle spoke in that scene. It's nice. It's just a nice little heart to heart. And then there was the scene with the curly fries. That was brilliant. Oh yeah, I'll just put some mustard on these curly fries. Oh yeah, I'll put salt on over the curly fries. It's brilliant. It was incredible. Seriously. I do feel like this finale though, on one hand, it was brilliant, but on the other hand, there was room to do more, and I think it might have worked out if they had, let's say, with certain storylines, they would have done it earlier on in the season, and there's certain parts about the 12 that they should have just went over in seasons 1, 2 and 3, well, mainly 2 and 3, which isn't the fault of the lead writer of this season, but it still could have been a possibility. But no, it feels quite rushed in a sense, because there is a lot happening in this episode, and it felt the same even in episode 7. Oh yeah, speaking of episode 7, Gunn, even Villanelle, escaped Gunn's island, got on the boat and went. But what makes it very interesting is the way that Gunn was with Villanelle. I wouldn't be surprised if Villanelle was killed off by Gunn. That wasn't revealed, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Yeah, there's a lot of Villanelle scenes in this episode. In fact, I think that's the most Villanelle scenes we've had throughout the entire show. That says something. It says that they've definitely just tried to throw as many in as they can because they couldn't do any more. The acting in this episode with Sandra Oh and Jodie Comer was something else. It was incredible. Again, their chemistry is just amazing. Brilliant, seriously. There isn't much else that I can say in terms of this finale. The fact that when Villanelle was shot and she said to Eve to jump, so they both jump into the water. Eve tries to reach for Villanelle's hand and she can't. At that point, Villanelle's already been shot and she's dead. But it's the way that they done it in terms of cinematography, the way that Villanelle sort of goes away from the camera in that one scene. Mate, this had me speechless. Mate, I almost cried. Just saying. To think that this show is done and that's it. Like, that's it. It's done. Blows my mind. But now I'm questioning, since they didn't wrap up the Carolyn storyline, since the whole thing of how like they're going to be doing a Carolyn spin-off, right, based on her, it makes me think that they're going to go further with that storyline in particular, which is probably why there wasn't much in terms of like when she got told that Constantine was dead and such. It would make a lot of sense considering they're doing a spin-off or they're planning on it. I'm probably going to rewatch the finale again and then rewatch the entire series, because this finale, for some reason, I swear, like, I've watched shows, I've watched films, but this finale just hit me differently because I'm so goddamn attached to the show and I'm way too obsessed with the show, and it's probably my favourite show. That's the end of this video. I hope that I don't cry later about the last episode, because that finale was something else. I literally was speechless. I couldn't actually get any words out about it. I just couldn't. That's the end of Killing Eve. I'll go cry now.